My 2 repeats are done, and in total, according to my chart, I am here. So I'm done with this part. I'm gonna scribble it with a different color because that's only for the back, and I'm gonna need to look at this chart again when I'm working for the front, like that. So what's left, I just need to work one more repeat for the back, and that is for the shoulders. According to my finished dress, for the next pattern repeat, I need to work the first row. So one more filet crochet row all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4, and then turn and work your first row of the next pattern repeat all the way across. I'm at the end of this row, and see how this thing can be confused with the end of the previous row, but I know that I have to have one more cell here, so I'm gonna make sure to work the last cell of this row like this, and then I'm gonna chain 1 and turn my work, turn it like this, and we need to work the stitch pattern repeats over 18 cells. So I'm gonna count 18 cells, and I'm gonna mark the 18th cell. Just grab any marker. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, up to here. Now let's see, what is this going to give us? We might as well count from the other side 18 and mark those stitches, those cells, or even stitches. Yeah, that's fine. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I'm gonna mark this here. This is for when we're gonna work the shoulders. All right, so since my popcorn is here, it means that the next popcorn has to be in the middle here. So I'm gonna start with a single crochet this row, single crochet into the first stitch, chain 3. We work the stitch pattern as usual, skipping 2 cells, and then we do the 3 double crochet cluster. Well, we're gonna repeat the stitch pattern only for the marked cells. So chain 3, single crochet, skip 2 cells and single crochet into this stitch. I'm curious where this is going to take me, because the original dress, it was made a little bit different, and that gave me different kind of numbers of stitches and all, but this one I didn't have to go through so much trouble because I already knew what goes where. So that's my 3rd repeat on this row. Now, so that's 3 repeats, and now I have probably 4 repeats and a half. So in the original dress there were 5 repeats in total here, but that's a long story. The way I made that dress, it's totally different. Well, it was an experience. It was a very good learning experience. So I do have 4 repeats and supposedly a half here. I'm not gonna work this last half repeat. I'm just gonna change the stitch here so I could end up on top of the cluster. I'm gonna unravel these last 3 chains. Oops. And I'm gonna work one double, an elongated double crochet into this stitch where the single crochet was supposed to be. So elongated, you go through 1 loop and then through 2 and then through 2, almost like a treble, but not a treble. Okay, so I'm up here and then I'm gonna chain 1 and turn my work. I'll turn it, and then I'm gonna work single crochet on top of this cluster. Like this. And then I can work 1 single crochet into the first space. Chain 6. So we just keep going in pattern for these 4 repeats. It's basically the same way we did for the armhole opening. It's just this time it's for the neck rounding at the back, and then chain 3 and double crochet into this last single crochet stitch. So we need to round this thing only on the inside here, but this edge has to be straight, so we're keeping it straight. Now chain 1 and turn the work, single crochet into this stitch, into the first stitch, and then 3 more single crochets onto this space. Remember, this is the middle single crochet if it was a full chain 6 space. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 6 single crochets, actually 7, I'm sorry, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 2. So 2 more times. Well, I have to show you every step here. I cannot just forward or skip these steps. But I think you got the idea. If you're going to work your own dress, then you already know. You'll decide these things for yourself. So I am at my last chain 6 space, and I'm gonna cover it with single crochets only to the middle of it. So that means I need 4 single crochets here. That's 2, 3, and 4, because I'm rounding it up here. Okay, and from this moment on, I'm gonna just work a straight edge on both sides. So from here on, chain 1, turn the work, and single crochet into the first single crochet of previous row, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, popcorn. Let's work the popcorn. You know how to work the popcorn. We're still working the popcorns on the wrong side of our work, so it's the same thing. First you work the double crochets, nothing new there, and then you're gonna have to work the popcorn the way I showed you previously, and that is like this. from the right side in the first stitch, and then you grab your working stitch, draw the loop through, and continue in pattern. Chain 3, single crochet into the middle single crochet of the previous space, 1 2 3 here, right here into the 4th. So I just finished this popcorn row, and the last row, chain 4, so that's 3 and 1 for the space, turn the work and work the filet crochet row as the pattern dictates to. Here we don't forget we have the front post double crochet, I'm at the end of this row almost, so this is my last cell that I'm working, and that's it for this shoulder. Now I need to leave long enough thread in order to weave in, to join first to the other shoulder, to the other side of the same shoulder, but then I need to know exactly how I'm gonna do that, so I'm not sure yet. That's why I'm gonna chain about, how many cells do we have? 2 4 6 8 10 12 cells. So I'm gonna work about 30 stitches. Let's work about 30 stitches, chain stitches. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. That's once. 2 3 4 10. So one more time. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And then you can cut the thread here. I'm gonna be using this to join the shoulder seams, so it should be enough for the kind of joining I want. All right, now we have to go to the other side and complete the other shoulder. Gonna be something like this. Okay, now joining the thread about like this. So I'm gonna join this into the same spot like here. So if I have 2 cells left here, then I'm gonna leave 2 cells here too. So I'm gonna start my work into the, look, from the marked stitch, 1 2 3, into the 3rd double crochet from the marked stitch. So I'm gonna just join in. I'm holding this tail with my hand, and I'm gonna start the pattern repeat, and it starts with a single crochet. So remember here when we ended, we worked an elongated double crochet instead of a chain 3. So here we're just gonna start with chain 3, just like we did at the beginning. So you can weave in this tail right away if you can. 1 2 3, and then we work our, skipping 2 cells and working the 3 double crochet cluster. And then you can work 3 more stitches at the same time weaving in that tail, if that works for you. If you prefer to weave in that tail differently, then please do the way you think it's better for you, like that. And then 1 2 3. So just continue in pattern till the end of this row. I feel like I have to show you every little detail because I believe that when you teach someone, and well, obviously, if you're an experienced crochetee, I'm not teaching you much here, but if you're a beginner and you take a challenge like that, then I believe that my job is to give you all the details possible that you might need to complete this work. I'm at the end of this row, and since this is a straight edge, I have to end this row accordingly. So I'm gonna chain 3 and single crochet into, so remember you have a chain 1 here, so skip that chain 1 and single crochet into the 3rd chain of this double crochet of that previous row, like that. And then we chain first, we chain 3. That is for the first double crochet. So we need to replace that space here. It's supposed to be a space here, and since this space would be half of it, then I have to work a double crochet here, which is replaced with a chain 3. So work another chain 3 for the space, turn the work, single crochet here into the first space before the cluster, and then continue as usual, single crochet into the next space and chain 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Single crochet into the next space, and then again single crochet into this space. And then we have, so I need to end up at the middle of this chain 6 space. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna weave in this tail as I'm working chain 3, 2, 3, and then a treble into the cluster. Let's work a treble into the cluster. 1, 2, and 3. So I believe that looks like I have the chain 6 space and I ended up in the middle of this space. Now chain 1, turn the work, single crochet into this space. So you need to have 4 single crochets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 2, and then 7 single crochets. So basically from now on you're gonna have straight edges on both sides. So for the last half space here I have to work 4 single crochets. So 3 single crochets into the space and 1 single crochet into the stitch, into this double crochet stitch. So 1, 2 into the 3rd chain of this double crochet. I think I'm gonna work it like this, just to be correct and fair to the other side. Okay, and then we have to work the popcorn row, and that means chain 1, turn your work, single crochet into the first single crochet, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work your popcorns. I'll see you at the end of this row. I'm almost finished with the popcorn row. I'm ending it with a single crochet into the last single crochet of the previous row, and then I'm gonna chain 4 and I'm gonna work my turn. I'll turn and then I'll work my last filet crochet row, and just do the same thing like you did here. After you're done with that row, crochet 30 chains and then cut the thread. That's all we have for the back of this dress for now. So I'm gonna leave the stitch markers until I don't need them anymore. I don't think I'm gonna need them anymore, but I'll still leave them until the end of this front piece. I mean, not front piece, like top piece of the dress. All right, moving on to the front side of this part.